No, I am. But I just want to let you know, if you didn't see my community post, that we have internet back. Our power has been stable. Everything here is fine. Everybody that I know so far is okay. We still aren't out of the woods yet, as the saying goes, but we're getting there. And I wanted to do this because there has been something bugging me ever since this whole thing has started. And I'm going to get on a soapbox for a little bit here. Hurricane Helene, we knew about. Yeah. We were giving we were given the same warnings that we are always given during a hurricane. Flash flood warnings, a lot of rain, things like that. Been through several of these in my lifetime. Several. I know where the water rises. I know where there's possible landslides, mudslides, whatever you want to call them. I know that every now and then there is a bridge that washes out because of this. With Hurricane Helene, I also knew that it might be a little bit rougher than the norm because we had had 2 days of rain prior. And I know that the rivers and the creeks and everything, they were struggling a little bit, and they would be struggling a little bit. What I didn't know was how much rain we were going to get. Some places in the high country got over 20 inches of rain in the span of 3 days. 20 inches of rain per square foot. That is so much. And it resulted in what we have now. Now, I also want to educate you a little bit so that you can educate those trolls that are going on these survivors and victims posts, calling them out for not evacuating, blaming them for being in danger, blaming them for losing all their stuff. Like we should have known better. Help us educate them. Okay? So here's the first thing. Asheville, the jewel of the North Carolina Appalachian Mountains, is only accessible by air for the most part right now. That's how many of the roads have completely washed out. Okay? Asheville is 2,134 feet above sea level. Folks, we don't get sea level floods here. We get some rivers overflowing their banks a little bit. We get some streams washing out some bridges that, the natives have built. And I'm talking natives as in us who have lived here for hundreds and hundreds of generations. Not hundreds of generations, but you know what I mean. Hundreds of years. We get that. We get a few mudslides. Most of this area got 14 plus inches of rain. Add that to all the rivers. Add that to the man-made lakes. Add that to the pressure on our dams, and you start getting into dangerous territory. You get the mudslides. You get all the bridges washing out. You get all the water washing out the roads, cracking asphalt like it's freaking peanut brittle. Okay? And this is at 2,000 feet over sea level. Flash floods are scary. You want to talk about watching a tidal wave come in or a tsunami coming in. Flash floods are a lot like that. But in my humble opinion, and I'm not trying to compare, flash floods are a little bit more scary because when you watch a wall of water carrying trees that water has ripped from the banks and carrying docks that the water has ripped up from the banks and carrying houses and barbed wire fences and Lord knows what else coming at you with no warning other than the sound as it's coming down the creek bed. That's all the warning you get with a flash flood. That's all the warning you get here in the mountains with a flash flood. So yeah, people did try to evacuate when they realized how bad it was getting. And then they got trapped. Their cars got washed away because the sudden onslaught of a flash flood or a mudslide or something like that. Hey, Fenrir. So yeah, Asheville, 2,000 feet above sea level. Next one is Chimney Rock. Chimney Rock itself, the mountain is okay. Chimney Rock is still there. The village that was below it, gone. I'm talking gone. There's nothing there. It's all silt. It's all debris. There's no buildings. I grew up in the Appalachian Mountains and I was there until 2013. And now I am in technically what's called the foothills. I am right above Charlotte. So, yeah. I used to go to Chimney Rock all the time. I practically lived in Asheville for a while with how many times I had to stay in the hospital with family members. Asheville and I are great friends. Boone, I went to school right below Boone in a little town called Banner Elk. Boone itself is 3,000 feet above sea level and they are still underwater. Things are washed away. People are without power. There's no homes where there used to be. The school, Appalachian State, opened up their cafeteria for people so that they could have food. Just to put kind of in perspective, because I know a lot of you have no clue about the Appalachian Mountains and you haven't been there technically, or maybe you visited for like 2 or 3 days. You drove through it. Most of you know Wilmington, though. Wilmington and Myrtle Beach and places like that close to our coast or in our coast. Wilmington is 30 feet above sea level. Wilmington's on the coast. Wilmington has a lot of hurricane activity. The same Hurricane Helene didn't really hit Wilmington. It came up to us. It came up to the Appalachians. It came up to the foothills. It went up through Tennessee and destroyed half of eastern Tennessee. Dams broke. Everything washed away. Well, not everything, but a good portion of it washed away. Another thing is that we have a ton of rivers, we have a ton of dams, we have a ton of lakes up here. We have valleys full of water. The Cherokee used to call this the land of many waters in a lot of different places. And when 20 when 10 to 20 inches of water gets added to those, that's when you get what we have today. Yeah. You get people dying because they can't get out. You get animals drowning. You get complete cities and townships and villages gone. So educate those that you see who are trying to tear down Appalachian people. I know there's a stereotype saying that we aren't the smartest people on the block, or we're not the brightest crayons in the boxes, but yeah, no. We just kind of do our own thing. And it looks like we're going to continue doing our own thing. There are some help coming. A little bit of federal here, Red Cross, FEMA, Samaritan's Purse, things of that nature. But a lot of the boots that we have on the ground are us, are my friends and family, are the fire departments and police forces and EMS workers, the linemen, and anybody who has a backhoe and a chainsaw. Those are the people that are heroes right now. And I am so thankful for them. And just while you're watching social media, just know that a lot of these people have no access to a news channel. They have no access to a article that tells them where to go for shelter. They are relying on social media because that's all that they can connect to, because there's no internet service. There's hardly any cell phone service. If towns are gone, towers are gone. If towns are gone, fiber optic cables are broken. Just think before you start doing negative crap. In fact, don't say anything negative at all. Just keep it to yourself and hope. And if you pray, pray that you never have to go through this yourself. And for those of you who love us, love our Appalachian Mountains, and are feeling heartbroken for our communities, help us stand up in any way you can. Even if it's just knocking down a troll. I hope this finds y'all well. And I do apologize for getting up on a soapbox, but I got irritated. My roots are showing where got a little bit of fire in me this morning. And had to say it. Because when push comes to shove, we are going to stand up for ourselves, and we are going to take care of ourselves. So get on those trolls and knock them down a couple of notches. Help out in any way you can. There are several different organizations that are sending water and food and things that we need here. And there are several people coming here to help out with the cleanup. And unfortunately, I have a great fear that this is going to be a decades-long cleanup. I've never seen anything like this. And sad thing is it looks like we have another one coming up, another hurricane. Not entirely sure what that is going to do. So hug your loved ones close, keep checking on us, help us find each other. And yeah, thank you again.